Today we're going to do the coolant bypass on a k20z3. Alright, first thing we're going to do is remove the intake manifold. Next thing we want to do is just brush everything here from the surface with a Scotch Green Bright. So we want to get everything nice and smooth, and then we're ready to tap. And here's the coolant bypass by K20z3. And here is the set of instructions. This is everything you need to get this done. This is the part number here. Yep.
That's the one we're going to use.
And I'm watching my own video
or to drill into that.
Before we make this one here. I watch my own instructions how to do it. Alright, so we have everything that we need to get this done. We have the where is it? The M6x1 tap right here. We have the quarter right here, and we have the 1364s right here. Alright, so let's get this started. We also have our short drill, and we'll remove everything out of our way. We'll mount this coolant bypass and make our markings. Alright, so we're gonna set this just like so. This is gonna go right in here. Then we're just gonna grab a bolt and we'll place it right at the bottom just to hold it into place. Alright, and there it is. So there we have our opening, and that little hole there, that's where we're gonna make our tap. So we'll start with the 1364 5mm drill bit, and there we have it, 1364s. And we'll do this at a depth of 11mm. We're going to use a socket. It's about a 1/4 inch depth. And here we have the tape measure. And as you can see, it's just about a 1/4 inch. Right about the same. So we're going to put tape here to indicate that this is as much as we're going to drill in to our head. And I just used some black tape. And as you can see, there it is. And I'll grab the tape measure so we can measure out 1/2 inch. And there we have it, right about 1/2 inch. Perfect. 1/2 inch is right there. My tape mark is right there. Alright, so there we have it at a 1/2 inch. Right there, there's our 1/2 inch mark. Perfect. So we'll start off with the quarter. I already have the coolant bypass here bolted down with the nut and the bolt, so everything is lined up. So like I said, we'll start with the quarter and we'll make our tapping into our head. We'll pass the coolant bypass. There's a pilot hole here that we'll start off, and we'll shave that down, and we'll keep this as straight as possible. And we'll go just far enough to make our marking on our head. And pass our coolant bypass. We'll remove everything from here. I'm using a 12mm socket with a little extension just to help me out. Get the nut and the bolt out. Alright, and we have our marking on our head, and we're going to just vacuum all the little metal shavings out. And what we're going to do is plug these holes up so that way no metal shavings goes inside. Alright, so after we did our 1/4 inch on our coolant bypass, so that way our bolt goes all the way through, we're going to use the 1364s at a 11mm step so we could tap that in. So now I'm going to try to make this as straight as possible, right to where our tape ends right there. And what you could also do is run the vacuum to help you pick up all these metal shavings. this right at the tape mark. Perfect. Now we're gonna use that M6 by 1.0, there it is, to tap this in. And we're just gonna thread this in just like so. Just nice and slowly. Just make sure you keep it as nice and straight as possible. And there we go, just threading it in. And we'll back this out. Alright, and this one actually had a nice big old point, and I actually shaved that down so I could get this thread to go nice and deeper. So I'm gonna re-thread this back in, just like so. Just work it all the way back down and bring it back out, and we should be ready to go. We'll vacuum everything out once again. Make sure everything is nice and clean. And we'll take out these little inserts that we had. Perfect. And there it is. Everything is good to go. It's tapped all the way in. Here's the bolt that comes with the kit. And let's thread it on. Perfect. Like it's for it. And we're going to spray a little bit of WD-40 just to make sure all the metal debris are out of there. And we'll turn on the vacuum stop one more time, check everything out. And we'll thread this back in. Perfect. That's going in there good. Sweet. We're ready to move on forward. Alright, and we'll wipe the whole surface down. We'll actually use some brake cleaner to clean the whole surface down on both sides. Just spray some on the rag and just wipe everything down. That way we get every oil off of it and we make a nice good seal with the Honda Bond. Perfect. Cool. And I'm just test fitting everything. That's the first one to get threaded in. Thread this in. Perfect. Everything is lining up just the way it should. Nice. Alright, so this is the kit that came with it, or the hardware. This one here is going to go down at the bottom. This is going to go right at the port we just ported out. And then this one we're going to fill with Honda Bond. And we're going to put right in here. I believe they all take a 5mm Allen wrench to secure down. Yeah, they sure do. They're all 5mm. Well, this one isn't, but these are. So we'll put some Honda Bond on this one here, and we'll seal it up, and then we'll put Honda Bond right behind the cooling bypass. We'll slap it on. We'll wait about 2-3 days, then we'll give it the final torque down, and we should be set. Alright, and I have there the plug covered with Honda Bond. I'm gonna thread that in. I'm gonna use both hands. Alright, for this one I am using the 3/16 Allen wrench to secure this down, and we'll just tighten it all the way down. And there it is. And this is so you can put a coolant temp sensor on there. Perfect. We'll clean this off right here. Alright, so everything is cleaned off. Everything is set. And that just blocks off that port right there for the coolant temp sensor. Next, we're going to put Honda Bond all around here. We're going to miss all these gaps here, but put Honda Bond all around. We'll slap it into place. We'll put in the 1/4 inch and then the the 13/64 bolt in the 1/4 inch 13/64. That way it makes a nice good seal. We'll let it dry off. I suggest about 2 days, so you will make sure the Honda Bond is nice and dried, so you have no leaks. We already did it on my buddy's K24. This is on the K20, so we shouldn't have an issue doing this method here. Alright, and there I have it, nice and caked with some Honda Bond. I'm gonna set this right in here. I'm gonna use both hands because I'm gonna grab the one that I used to tap first, put it in through here. Then I'll grab this one, put it down at the bottom, This is just going to be a guide, so we make sure everything is seated nice and properly. Alright, and there with all one movement, I just put everything in. Here we go. We'll thread in the top one, and then we'll thread in the bottom one. This bottom one's going to be a 6mm, and we'll thread this all the way in, just like so. And you just want to squeeze this till the Honda bond starts to come outwards. And like I said, this is just a mock-up, but there it is. The coolant bypass is installed and is ready to go. And there it is. The coolant bypass is installed. No leaks. Everything is good. We just had to trim this bolt just a little bit so it could reach in the tap all the way. But it's perfect. No more leaks. We've been hauling ass on it, and it's perfect. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe.